Hello dear Ronins, welcome to Ronin Hood. Today it's a review about the white costume from Artkatana. So here the summary, the brand seller, unboxing, etc. So the brand seller, this is Artkatana, and this is a custom sword. I practiced with around 2 or 3 years, so I got it from now 2 or 3 years. It took around 1 year and 1.5 years to make it by the seller and his craftsman. This is a replica from China, so you can see all the options here if you want to have clothes from the same from the shop of these present days, because some koshirae options moved and evolved, so you can't have exactly the same options, but really close for the same price, around 500-600 euros. This is katatemaki. I choose white synthetical silk, and you have something around 25 centimeters on tsuka, 71 centimeters on nagasa, and really basic things for making a custom BOHI shinogizokuri. And the saya is lacked with some circle motifs. So there is no buffalo horn on it on Koiguchi, but I really give you the advice if you want to buy it to put some buffalo horn on the Koiguchi and Kojiri. So this is what looked like the order if you buy it from these present days, around 500 euros to 600 euros depending on what you will choose. So this is how it looked on the first days 2 or 3 years ago when I received it. So it was new. You have to know that choosing white ito with synthetical silk or cotton or real silk, Japanese silk, is a problem with time. I think this is really logical because the sweat of your hands and the dirty of your hands with practice will make it evolve to gray tones, so it will be a dirty white gray ito silk visual. So here it's new, so I wanted you to see it because this is the only pictures that I have with the new ito before measurements. So please note that when it's new, it looks like this, and you will see in just a moment how it is now after 2 or 3 years of practice. So the ito synthetical silk is new here, but it's not. It evolved a lot. And here how it looks like now after 2 or 3 years of practice. You see this is dirty and it's evolved a lot to a gray tones or dirty white with the sweat and dirty of the hands. So 900 grams. So this is really light. All the measurements are really interesting here. This is shinogizokuri. Of course, it's a really light shinogizokuri clothes from Iraniku Kareru. And you have, of course, a narrow shinogizokuji, a low shinogizokuji, and yorimune as always on replicas most of the time. And it's a really light sword. I think the koshirae are really basic. I wanted just something that can be practical. 40 centimeters close point of balance close from the tsuba. The kashira, you can see it. The ito is synthetical silk, like I already said. It's really fragile with time, and it moves a lot with times because I practice a lot with this sword. The samegara is black. This is real ray skin. The menuki is kind of a dragon. I'm not sure that you will find it now on the koshirae options of the seller. The mekugi are clean, it's okay. The ito moved a lot with time. The quality was not so great, but it's normal because with this kind of price, if you practice every day or 4 or 5 times a week for years, it's actually kind of normal that you have something that can be moving, because this is my first sword that I use now since 2 or 3 years, and it's a sword that is really practical for me and really lightweight, so I can do everything with it. And so I love this sword. Even it's a really pretty basic replica from China. For me, it's a perfect sword for every training. You can see here the abaki, kind of nice but really basic. Every koshirae are really basic. Motohaba 3.04 centimeters, Moto Kasane 6.5 millimeters, Sakihaba 2.07 centimeters, Saki Kasane 4.6 millimeters, and Shukisaki, as always, most of the time it's Shukisaki. And the almond is Midare. It's a really light almond, I think from acid or other modern process. It's not a real, I think, almond, and this is quite normal because for this kind of price you can have something that is full craft, made by hand, that take many months and almost a year if you buy a Japanese sword from Japan. Nagasa 71 centimeters, and here length of the tsuka and katatemaki thickness 2.8 to 3.24, wind 39. Edge, it's very sharp, and it's kind of really a nice edge but very regular. Korigata Shitodome, there is no buffalo horn. Like I said before, this is just wood. No buffalo horn on the koiguchi, but very clean koiguchi. I have nothing to say. This is practical, and this is wood. I trained a lot with this sword, so maybe this is the sword for sure that I practice the most with it. Kojiri, no buffalo horn, wood. You can see here time and practice removed a bit some paint. Saya Inro Yagyu, this is the typical name in Japan from my knowledge. And Shinonome katana cover from Artkatana. So now you have all the measurements that we have talked about just there. Nagasa 70.3 centimeters exactly. Carbon steel is T10, weight 900 grams, and point of balance 14 centimeters from the Tsuba. Motohaba 3.04, Sakihaba 2.07. It's Amon Midare. And now paper bottle indoor practice. I made many tests with this sword, so I cut some cardboard. It was pretty well working, even I don't like to cut cardboard, and I don't like to soak cardboard, so it's without water. And it's a really light sword. And the question that I had in my mind 2 years ago or 3 years ago, it was about, is it possible to have something that is really light, really well balanced at my size, and I can do every cuts with it, the same cuts that with a Nohi Shinogizukori sword? And the answer is yes. So this is a spoiler, sorry, but this sword is for me perfect for every type of practice. I wouldn't cut bamboo because it's BOHI, but exception made for the bamboo. This sword for me is the perfect friend for everyday batto-do practice. So I practice a lot and a lot and a lot with it. So you have already maybe seen some type of episode about cutting plastic bottle, paper or other thing. So here I will just put the best shot. And this sword for a narrow grip, it's really important for narrow grip in batto-do, like Warakiri Batosai or myself. For narrow grip, the sword is so perfect for me because I can do everything. at my measurements. So for the weight transfer, for the balance, I can do everything. I can do the nuki-uchi of kesa with plastic bottle, empty plastic bottle. Why empty plastic bottle? Because it's really more difficult. First, second, you can practice it indoor because no need to clean after. And for tatami on the floor, water is just impossible. You can see here it's just perfectly cutting some paper, so no issue with it. And I practice a lot my nuki-uchi with different type of plastic bottle, with different type of plastic. This is more difficult with soft plastic. The angles, the technique, even there is no buffalo horn on the koiguchi, kurigata and kojiri. I had a really great feeling and I didn't felt unsafe. Even it's really better for batto-do to have safety with buffalo horn on the koiguchi. So I had many times of practice with it, indoor, outdoor, and this is just the best friend for my batto-do practice. After my yaito from Tozando, now with paper, you can see nuki-uchi of suihei, and then with same paper, nuki-uchi of kesa, and then nuki-uchi of gyaku kesa. Everything is just possible for me with this sword, and I can improve my practice switching from my yaito Tozando to this sword with really close balance and really close measurement. This is almost the same sword than my yaito Tozando, so for me this is perfect for my practice. Really clean cut, you can see here, and on the same paper, nuki-uchi of suihei and nuki-uchi of kesa and nuki-uchi of gyaku kesa. So the 3 cuts that you can do with a drawing cut. And multiple cuts with plastic bottle. Inside practice, this is area that is closer with short distance. It's more difficult than when it's an open area. So you need to be really precise, and it's pretty well working inside for inside practice with my little dojo here. And really clean cuts. Now we go outside with this used tatami for starting. With tsubame gaishi. You know, tsubame gaishi is kesa and gyaku kesa on the 2 sides, on the 2 gods. And this is a success. Even my kesa here was not clean on the angle. Then nami gaishi. That was my first nami gaishi with this sword. It's really impressive how it's powerful and thin and light. That prove that you don't need to have a heavy sword to make sophisticated cut or difficult cuts. Even with mizu gaishi, even a light sword around 800-900 grams can do the same job with omote than shinogi zukuri nohi. Really smooth feeling because perfect measurements, almost perfect measurements with my size. Really smooth feeling with nuki-uchi, even on playa mats that are not my favorites. And it was really smooth. It was not katate, but instead a nuki-uchi, a clean nuki-uchi of kesa, gyaku kesa and suihei. Nuki-uchi of suihei, nuki-uchi of kesa, nuki-uchi of gyaku kesa, and nuki-uchi of suihei. Now ushiro mizu gaishi, really clean. Even with these playa mats that sometimes are not the best for having clean cuts, because if you made just a mistake, it won't go through. Now with reused piece of playa mats, I tried Niten Nuki-uchi 3 cuts combo. It was pretty well working, as it was one just new omote. And for finishing with the last one, a Niten Mizu Gaishi, really difficult and really clean, so no problem of mass of the blade, even with hard target as Mugendachi. With the third one, and again the 3 cuts combo of Niten Nukiuchi. Again, it was a success. 1 and 2 and 3 after the draw of the wakizashi. That's it for the cuts outside with omote. Now minor cuts. So here use tatami with a nukiuchi. Now nukiuchi of kesa. And nukiuchi of suihei. And then kesagiri as kata number 2 of Toyama-ryu Nihonmei. Really smooth. The feeling is really nice. For me, it's just perfect for my practice. I don't need better, but just this quality in this weight distribution and these measurements. For me, I feel really good as my Eito Tozando. So the points and note results are giving the same. That's what I'm saying. 9 points with just 7 omote is great. I'm not sure I had a better result before, but it's not just about the result on the performance, but it's making 12.8 on 10 or 11.4 on 10 or 7 on 10 on a hard level. So that's pretty great for just 7 omote on tameshigiri. So I had a great impression. The grip and nagasa are and the weight distribution are the key for me that make this blade so unique, because correct nagasa, correct weight distribution, and correct thickness and width and size of the tsuka make it just perfect for me. So many imperfection if we see in detail, but on the major thing, this is pretty well, and for me it's 10 on 10. So sometimes you will see quality materials 6 on 10, yes, but for practice it's making 10 on 10. So even sturdiness of material as the Ito, synthetical Ito is not great and was moving. I had to rewrap it. It's making 10 on 10. That's what is weird, but many imperfections on the quality of materials. It could be better, maybe on the looks, also on the koshire, but it's still really having a great value because of the blade and the tsuka. So the saya is not so marvelous. It's just a 7 on 10, but the saya make the job, so doesn't bring down the potential of the great blade that is matching for me. It's just my opinion. And the good value for money for this blade, because of all the blades and swords that I've seen and practiced with, it's a 10 on 10. But many imperfections. But for the price and for the need is to practice batto-do with omote, paper and plastic bottle, is just for me 10 on 10. So tameshigiri, batto-do, niten, everything were pretty well working, and it's just 900 grams. So this is really light, almost as light as my Eito Tozando. So it's a great sword. And for me, this is my first sword that I practice all the time, because my body feel great. I have no injury. I have no. I can have a great stamina with it. I can practice for hours and hours and hours without feeling uncomfortable or tired. So the sword is pretty great for me. This is a great success. Thank you for having watched this episode. I hope you liked it. Stay focused, peaceful mind and body healthy, and see you soon in the next episode in Ronin Hood.